You can catch me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. streaming live content, whether if it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any other game in the world. All you got to do is check out the link in the description below. That's Twitch, by the way, if you haven't pieced these things together. But you guys are smart enough. How's it going, guys? Hope your guys' week has been doing great. It's been a fantastic week for myself, and today I've got another treat for you. It's another play-by-play, but it's not a play-by-play against one deck. It's actually going to be a play-by-play against two different decks, mainly because I ran out of time into being able to finish the matchup with Sin Anarchy, which is the first duel that you see here. He's a longtime viewer. He's also a phenomenal duelist. Definitely pushes me to my limits when it comes down to like the crunch time. We ended up going 1-1, and you're going to see how that kind of happened here and unveiled. And it didn't seem right that we only had two duels without like an official third one, like whether it was like the person just kind of bounced or not. So I have another play-by-play here that's kind of available, which is against Lair Infernoid, which was a deck that I hadn't come across in a while. So it's gonna be interesting to kind of review that play, and you guys can kind of figure out what goes on in that one, and feel free to comment anything below in the comments section that might have helped either myself or the Infernoid player perform better, or even myself against Sin Anarchy in this duel. Now, in this matchup, we basically have Cyber Dragon ABC Symphonics versus True King Dinos. So Sin Anarchy with True King Dinos, you obviously have diagrams. So Sin Anarchy was extremely sad and distraught that diagram made its way to the ban list. However, he's been experimenting with this new build to see if he can survive without it, and this is what it came to. So kind of take it with a grain of salt with this play-by-play. We were kind of having a little bit more fun than we were trying to really test it out. I think we put our thinking caps on kind of like midway during the second duel, or the second game, rather than the first game. The first game was kind of like, sure, why not type of deal. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. I won the rock, paper, scissors. He wanted to go first. I was like, all right, sure, why not? I'll let him go first. Which, by the way, if you're playing against dinos, it's the worst thing you could ever do. Don't ever let dinos go first. So his first move is he plays Fossil Dig, which adds one level 6 or lower dino monster from his deck to his hand. He proceeds to add Oviraptor. Then he decides to play the second Fossil Dig, which then adds Baby Ceratosaurus. Sending those to the grave, he normal summons the Oviraptor to search out another dino monster, which is going to be the Miscellaneous Source. And then he uses Miscellaneous Source's effect twice, because he had both of them in his hand, just so that way he can summon his Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Whoopee. For those of you guys who do not know, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is one of the big boss monsters. That's probably one of the most arguably frustrating cards to deal with once he's on the board. It takes a lot of strategic thinking to get around him when you play rogue decks against this deck. So, especially if your deck is link heavy, good luck. So I proceed with my turn. I draw into a Foolish Burial. The plan here is to basically kind of bait out his Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, because this was a deck that I've played countless of times before, and I've studied and adopted the art of dealing with this card. So went ahead and went into the ABC play, activated the Union Hanger, added A to my hand, and did the normal summon Silver Gadget going into A, and then I attempted the Union Hanger. This is where he decided to hit me with the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and the reason being is because you can't equip cards to set monsters. So I ended up losing my target, which means I lost out my ability of extending plays, which is fine because my goal was to bait out this card anyways. I was going to be okay. He went ahead and discarded Baby Ceratosaurus, and then he ended up using the effect of Baby Ceratosaurus, which got an Oviraptor, and which triggers Oviraptor's effect in retrieving another miscellaneous Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus. These names. It's like studying like actual dinosaurs, and they've got the phenomenal names of them of their own. Anyways, so now with the Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus hand, I had to find another way around that kind of a headache. And I had a plan, but I misplayed pretty freaking hard, and you're going to see how. So I activated Foolish Burial, and I decided to send the Hertz. Hertz would then send me, or retrieve me, or search out, whatever the terminology you want to use, the Cyber Dragon to my hand. Now, at this point, I was thinking I can get an extra normal summon because of Symphonic Guitar, which gets me to Symphonic Mics. But I did something stupid and discarded Machine Dupe instead of Transmodify. Now you're probably wondering, why was that dumb? Well, Symphonic Guitar is I discard a card and I special summon Mics from my deck. Essentially, it's supposed to be any Symphonic monster, but you get the Mics because Mics gets you the enables you to be able to normal summon again. So what I was originally going to do was tribute summon the second Cyber Dragon, go into Nova, and then special summon Hertz, and then use Machine Dupe. Woo! That sounds like a great idea. But I didn't do that because I ended up discarding Machine Dupe instead of Transmodify, and I caught this after I discarded the card. I was an idiot, and I don't know what I was thinking. I still persisted with the play anyways. Went into Nova, and then used Nova's effect to summon Cyber Dragon. I already had a pre-existing Cyber Dragon in the grave, so I was able to summon the big boy Cyber Dragon. Went into Infinity to attempt to get rid of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which was the only way I can get rid of this card. He tried to Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus me, so that way I wouldn't be able to hit him. But I negated this Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus because I wanted to get rid of this card, because this card is one of the bigger headaches. Went to battle phase, and I went ahead and did baby damage to both of his monsters, and then wrapped it up for the turn. And in my head, I'm thinking, cool, I'm in the clear, because he doesn't have a lot to really work with. I mean, except for the Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus in the grave. And then he draws into an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And mind you, that he also still has Quatless. So I live a sad life. So he goes ahead, he banishes the dinos to be able to get baby Ceratosaurus out into the field. He then banishes 2 more to special summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And by the way, I thought I had to banish... By banish 2 dino. Oh yeah, 2 dino. What I'm thinking? I was originally thinking, like, didn't he have to banish 1 dino and then something else? But I might be thinking of something else. Anyways, he banishes his two dinos to be able to get Conductor out. And then you can only imagine what he does next. Summons Quatless by shuffling 5 dinos back into the deck. This deck is so tilted. He then beats over my Infinity, which deals some damage to me, and then just uses Ultimate Conductor's Tyranno's effect to send away my 2 monsters, dealing 1,000 each, and then I receive a bunch of smacks to the face. Now, I was still in the game. With 1,400 life points, I thought, depending on the next card I draw, I might be able to do something. He goes ahead, he destroys Baby Ceratosaurus, which then gets him over after, which you can only imagine what he receives after that. Miscellaneous, whatever the card's name. In my head is, great, I get to deal with that. I drew into a core and thinking, oh, maybe I might be able to do something with a core, however, I can't. Because all I have is a core and a useless Transmodify. Whoop-de-doo. So I normal summoned the core, and I was able to search out Cyber Repair Plant, thinking I might be able to search something out because I do have a Cyber Dragon in the grave. But in my head, I didn't really have anything I could search out. So he Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's my core. He flips it face down, and then I totally forgot that Quatless can negate spell cards. So when I played the Repair Plant, It's the end of game 1. Nonetheless, we go into our rematch. Game 2, I opted to go first this time because the shenanigans was kind of done. I needed to establish myself against this deck. However, I drew an interesting thing. Now, this is where he's a fan of the true anything. So when he has Disaster in his hand, he's actually pretty excited, and rightfully so. This card is super tilted in its own nature. I proceed with my plays regardless. I went ahead and activated Union Hanger. Union Hanger then searches out the normal ABC stuff that you do. I went ahead and normal summoned the gold gadget, which then gets me A, which then I equip B to A using Union Hanger's effect. I go into Gear Gigant, sending B to the grave, which then triggers B's effect, so then I retrieve C. I then activate Gigant's effect to search Symphonic Guitar because normal summon. Went ahead and activated Guitar's effect, discarded C. Yeah. To then special summon a second or a Symphonic Mics, which then enables me to be able to normal summon Core, which is exactly what happened to my mics. Oh, that's right. He was thinking about everything here. So I put mics back. So mics came out. I then normal summoned the Core, which then gets me an extra search. Get Cyber Emergency. I then decided to search out the Hertz, because the Hertz, when I send him off to the grave, I am able to then retrieve another Cyber Dragon, but then I would discard him with Galaxy Soldier. So you get the combo. It's the normal stuff. It's nothing like, it's not rocket science. I linked into Union Carrier. For those of you guys who do not know, Union Carrier is a new Link to Union Link monster. It's not a Union monster. It's a Link to Machine monster that does the following. Cannot be used as Link material to turn it as Link Summon. You can target one face-up monster you control, equip one monster with the same original type or original attribute as the targeted monster from your hand or deck to it as an equipped spell that makes it gain 1,000 attack. But if you equip from the deck, you can have special summon monsters with the same name as that monster card for the rest of the turn. You can only use this. You only use this card to hard once per turn. So you can only imagine how tilted I was going to go. However, I was met with an abrupt end. So I did the normal the Galaxy Soldier Hertz play where I discarded and I get the double search and get the Galaxy Soldier in my hand, get the Cyber Dragon in my hand. I was then getting ready to overlay when he tells me on resolution. Now, in theory, I've already started overlaying, so Nova technically should have been out. But in just reason, I technically didn't give him enough time to react or to inform me if he wanted to do anything. So I respectfully let this one go. Now, he went ahead and slapped down the Nibiru. Sad life for me, good life for him. He tributed away all of my monsters. So he gave me a 1,000 plus 23 plus 2K. So what is that? 1, 2, that's 3 plus 23. So 5,300 beat stick, which was pretty good. But of course, all of this, the token gets summoned in defense, and then he gets to decide where the token goes. He wanted the token to go in the other section right here, which in my opinion does absolutely nothing different. I think it's just because habitually I summon my Link stuff or like my extra deck stuff here. So you'd think that I would have done some extra thinking or magic or whatever the case may be. Anywho, I decided to play conservatively and maintain my hand in preparation for the next turn, and thought I would need something a little bit more. So I went into ABC, and showing him that I'm completely aware that I'm just not locked into this side, I summoned ABC on this side just for the spite of it. And then discarded to banish his Nibiru here, because I didn't feel like dealing with that during his turn. Because I only have it's a once per turn banish, so you know it's kind of significant. At this point, remember when I told you we didn't really take it serious until about midway in game 2. This is where we kind of started taking it a little bit more serious. So, so he summons his Oviraptor, searches out Baby Ceratosaurus. He then activates Fire King Island, which threw me for a loop. I've never heard of this card in my life. But this card set me up with a decent avenue, you could say. But I kind of goofed it a little bit, and you're going to see how. For those of you guys who do not know, it is face-up card in the field zone is sent to the graveyard or banished. Destroy all monsters you control, which basically destroy all monsters he controls. You can only use the following effects of this card once per turn, and only once that turn. During the main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or you control, and if you do, add one Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. If you control no monsters, you can special summon one Fire Wing Beast type monster from your hand. It's basically all the card does, and you can only imagine what he would use it for. He activates this effect to pop his Baby Ceratosaurus, and then Baby Ceratosaurus' effect pops off while he's also resolving this card's effect. In my mind, I've read what this card does and thought, man, I just have to time it right so I can get rid of this card because I have the resources to get rid of it, and then I'd be able to clear his board. This is basically a suicide mission for him. So he continues his play. He was able to summon Baby Ceratosaurus. Uses Baby Ceratosaurus' other effect. You can only imagine the normal stuff that he kind of goes through. So this is where he kind of warned me about disaster, but I wanted to see the full. Like I wasn't tripping about this card as hard as I should have been. Now, I've read Disaster's effect once, but during the time of this duel, it kind of came to me vaguely. I couldn't recall. So, my dumb brain thought it would be a brilliant idea to let him have it. And all because I was banking on removing this card. And this is how I decided to remove the card. When Lithosagen, or whatever his name, Disaster shows up, I decided to use Cybernetic Overflow, which was an idiot decision. I should have used ABC because Overflow, I literally had 2 bullets that would have enabled me to kind of get rid of more cards on his field after getting rid of this card. But instead, I used Overflow to get rid of this, to get rid of everything else. Now, in hindsight, is technically a better idea because I just banish the hurts and keep the core in the event of in the event that I would need core's effect in the grave to come back into the game. That was my train of thought during the time. However, it still would have been more efficient to use ABC's effect instead of Overflow. But that's okay. The deed is done. Disaster's effect resolves. Oh, well, he gets a bunch of monsters, and then Disaster's effect resolves, and he banishes kind of what I've anticipated: my ABC, my Infinity, and my Seeker. In reality, those are the only cards that would have benefit me the most at the time of this duel. So everything resolves. He loses out on his board. Then he summons his Fire King, or I don't even know. I don't remember what he did with this card exactly, but we get to find out together. He gets his Prankertops out. How in the world does this work out? If a face-up Fire King monster you control, you control destroyed by a card effect. You can special summon this card from your hand. This card is in your possession, destroyed by your opponent's card. Sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one Fire Team. He probably did this card. This card is destroyed to the graveyard. Special summon one level 4 or higher Dino monster from your deck to your grave. I don't know why he was showing me this card. I think something happened. Something happened that required him to do something with this card. Anyways, so he gets his Prankertops out, and he decided he was thinking about using the effect, and he decided not to. I use ABC's effect to get rid of this card nice and easily. And then this is where things kind of got weird. So he's banishing his soul and guide, which is basically Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, so that he can get big boy Tunga Tunga over here out, Giant Rex. Giant Rex basically gains muscle for every banished dino that he has, which I wasn't too worried about. He goes into battle phase. I use his ABC's effect to go ahead and tribute and special summon my pieces back out. basically giving me either resource or defense. And then this would then also not trigger Hanger. I guess I forgot to trigger Hanger, which is good to know. Oh, no. I tried to use Hanger's effect and use Prankertops' effect to pop C, which then I lose target. Anyways, this is where I was kind of confused. He swung at my A instead of the 5300 beat stick that he has provided to me. And mind you that the defense of this card is little to nothing. So, say this was a 27. This was, I think, was like 20 something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 3200 beat stick here. So, I don't know why that happened. Anyways, so he swings at A. I get C in my hand, and it's now my turn. Now, with having a 5300 beat stick, I have quite the advantage. It's just about using it right. And to use it right, I just kind of did it like it's a simplified style. I normal summon C, and in reality, I should have absolutely gone into Time Thief, but it's okay. Normal summon C, use Hanger's effect, equip B to C, and then went into battle phase. I smacked him with my 5300 beater, and then smacked him with C and B. This is where I should have gone into Time Thief, but instead I decided to link into Platinum Gadget, thinking that, you know, extra bodies is better. So I added A and C using B's effects. And then use Platinum Gadget's effect to special summon A, to then use A to equip into Platinum Gadget. I only run 2 ABC Dragon Busters, so the fact that he banished my other one made me a sad sack because I don't have access to another one. But that's okay, because I was prepared for that, actually. Mentally, at least. I was just kind of cheesing with him at this point. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was basically just using Miscellaneous Sayer's effect. Banished Big Boy Tunga Tunga over here to get over Raptor. And then technically he gets to summon the Rex. But I stole the Rex from him just because why not? So I gave him back his Rex. He then gets the Evolution Pill. Which then gets his Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This is where I win real hard. You can't set tokens. And it's a link. I have a link monster. So that neither. And he's unaffected by monster effects. So winning. So he goes ahead. Continues his play. Uses Danger Mothman. I guess he's just kind of digging. I was kind of hoping to discard the Mothman because I was totally down to draw one, drop one. I would have just dropped the machine dupe. But I failed in doing so. He ends up getting a Nibiru instead. And then he links into Blackluster Soldier, which makes me all the sad in the world. He swings at my Platinum Gadget. My A dies. He swings with Buster. And then he banishes the token. He keeps trying to swing at my Platinum Gadget. So I get Silver Gadget's effect. But I don't remember if I neglected or I just decided. No, I decided not to because I knew he was just gonna swing with him again. So I decided not to use Silver Gadget's effect at all. I just kind of swallowed the pill there. Drew into Hertz. I tried to use Core's effect to special something goody, some good, and in which I ended up getting the Nashter. Nashter would then get me a Cyber Dragon. Now I had to really think long and hard about this because I technically don't have an efficient way of being able to get rid of this, or at least deal with this, until it had dawned on me. And in which you're going to see in a second here. He made the crucial mistake of letting me have 2 effect machine monsters face up on the field for too long. He was even joking about how long I was taking. I was able to go into Cleefort. Now with Cleavefort, he's unaffected by the Link monster, which is brilliant. But he can also negate effects, which was the biggest win of life. So then I normal summon my Hertz. I also negated his Tyrannos. I had nothing to fear. And then I went into my my normal plays basically. I went into Mecha Phantom Beast. I don't know I don't know how to pronounce this name. It's like Auroradon or whatever the name is. Point is, in this move, when this is another OCG card that we don't get yet. I don't know if we're getting it in the TCG. Painfully and enormously hope that we get it in the TCG because this card is tilted in so many ways in this deck. So when this card is Link Summon, I get to special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, which is absolutely the most tilted thing in the world because they're all machines. I could just I could just literally fusion summon all 3 of them away for a big boy 3K, 4K, whatever I want. And Mecha Phantom Beast has another effect where I can also just tribute any amount of tokens I want and apply any of the following effects. If I destroy 1 card, or if I tribute 1 token, I can destroy 1 card in the field. If I tribute 2, I get to special summon 1 Mecha Phantom Beast monster from my deck. And if I special summon, or if I tribute 3, I get to add 1 trap from my grave to my hand. Now, what I was originally going to do is get my 3 tokens, pop 1, pop the other, which I believe was going to be this one. But that didn't happen because he on the resolution of the summon, he Nibiru's me. But this is where he kind of like jumped the gun to see that this is Chain Link 2. This is going to be Chain Link 1. So they resolve in reverse. So even though he tributes everything, which by the way was a big mistake as well because I gained their muscle too. So I have a 35 plus a 3K. That's 65 already plus 21. That's 80. What is that? 86 plus another 21. That's a 10K beater. Oh man. So he's going to give me that. And I still get my tokens. So I was literally going to have 4 tokens, but he was trying to tell me that I wasn't going to be able to do anything like that, but until I broke it all down for him. So he was just like, ugh, giving you a 10K beater, not down. So that was the end of that, and we had to call it a night there. But never fear, your content creator is here to provide you a 3rd match. Now, granted, this is a different player, it's a different duel altogether. We only played 1 game, which is more than enough for me because I wanted to get you a 3rd match. And I'll try to get through this one a little bit quicker. And by the way, if you made it this far, 1 bajillion%, I appreciate you so hard. So hard. Anyways, jumping into it, playing against Cough. We'll call him Cough. Playing against Cough, this is the Lair Infernoid. This was kind of weird. He was a really cool dude. Don't get me wrong. He's top notch, super kind, awesome dude. Weird because he opted to go second in a deck that likes to go first. But he tells me it depends. So his judgment, you know? So as you see, we're playing against Infernoids. So opted for me to go first. I was just like, all right, cool. I'll go into my normal play. Do the Union Hanger stuff. Went into Cyber Emergency. I found it interesting. I drew Emergency and Repair Plant. So I was kind of like in this weird headspace here. Because I was just like, well, I can't really go into core. So let's find out what I can really go into. Discarded Nasher, or discarded Cyber Dragon to summon Nasher. The Nasher's effect would get me my Cyber Dragon back onto the board. Then normal A to equip B to A. I accidentally got into my hand. And then I link summon into Platinum Gadget, triggering A and B's effect. I decided to use both because I had Cyber Repair Plant. Why not? I then searched out the Galaxy Soldier, discarded C, No, I discarded B to special summon the Galaxy Soldier. Searched out Galaxy Soldier. Went into Nova because I feared the Nibiru for life. Because at this point, I didn't really know what he was playing quite yet. Used Platinum Gadget to special summon C. By the way, this was also his first time seeing Cyber Dragon ABC, which I was amazed. I've been playing this deck for 4 or 5 years now. Anyways, special summon C. I forgot what was the other card. I think I used Nova's effect special summon Cyber Dragon. I then linked into Seeger. I then used C's effect to special summon B, and then banished the ABC pieces to special summon ABC. Went into Infinity, sends B to grave to search out another C. I decided to search out C and leave A in the deck just in the event that if I was able to successfully special summon the 3 pieces back out during his turn, I would be able to equip A to C to be able to have a Union monster in my hand to successfully maximize all of their effects in the event that he's able to get rid of all of them during his turn. I promised you guys that I was going to go through this one a little bit quicker, so I hope you're keeping up. I called it a turn here, and he activated with Pot of Extravagance. Surprise, surprise. Decided to negate that card because draw power is a little too powerful. By the way, he drew into a 1-for-1. This is where I discovered what he was playing, which was Infernoid Decatron. And it's been a while since I played against this deck, so I was obviously not the most prepared person in the world to play against this deck as of right now. But I lucked out pretty freaking hard because he's not your average Infernoid Lair player. So he sends Harmadic. I went ahead. He was using Harmadic's effect to destroy ABC. So then I used ABC's effect to banish this card, basically, kind of get rid of it. And then chain ABC's other effect to summon my pieces. This would then trigger my Union Hanger, equip my A to C, and then he summons another Harmadic. Whoop-de-doo. My concern was he's going to use Harmadic to pop an Infinity, which I have nothing to protect him with, and then tribute something, whether it's going to be himself or some other card that he might have magically have gotten, and banish my Infinity in my grave. Now that would have been a sad day for me, but that was not going to keep me from winning. So he pops my Infinity, uses the 1-for-1, has Infernoid Decatron. He then sends Saitama's. You see what I mean by this is a weird way of playing? I was more so waiting for like Deviati or the other one. But he sends Saitama's. Anyways. He goes ahead, he banishes B. He summons Saitama's, and now he goes into battle phase. For those of you guys who do not know, it's kind of scary when Saitama's is in battle phase. If he attacks, then he gets to banish any card on the field at the end of the battle phase. So I'm dealing with 2 of these right now. And to be quite frank, I don't even think he was able to do that. If you do that, the card's name. You can send one Infernoid to the grave, and if you do, increase this card's level by the level of the monster sent. He technically shouldn't have been able to summon this card, so that was a mistake on my behalf because this is technically a level whatever 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, he could because it totals 8 or lower. Yeah, so he could. Never mind. He was good. So he swings at my A, swings at my Platinum Gadget, triggers my Platinum Gadget, which I get Silver Gadget, which then triggers Silver Gadget, and I get C out. He then banishes B and my A. How rude. But with both of my B's gone and me only running 2 of them, I've completely lost control of being able to use ABC. So I live a sad life. Oh, by the way, he changed his mind. Instead of banishing A, he just banished a field spell. So I draw into a Terraforming, which at this point is completely useless to me. And so I thought, well, maybe I can bait out his effects, which forces him to sacrifice one of his monsters, and I'd be able to take over from there. So I linked into Cleafort, and then he tributes to banish my only target that I was able to use with A, so that way I wouldn't be able to get an A to my hand, or the other A, which I saw coming. I needed to bait this effect just that way I can go unharmed with the next move. I went into Gearky Gint and went into, and searched out Nashter. Now, I used Cleafort's effect to negate Satamas's effect, which I quickly realized that Cleafort Genius negates the effect altogether. Once per turn, you can target one face-up card on each side on each player's field except this card. Both of those cards have their effects negated until the end of this turn. Now, this doesn't keep him from activating the effect and paying cost, but it does keep him from being able to resolve the card's effect, because this doesn't state that it negates the effect on the field. So this card literally became my saving grace, as it was 3 years ago when this set when this deck was out and about at regionals. Cleafort, man, I love this card. So he attempts to activate this card's effect, pays the cost, and then tries to banish my Nova. But then that's when I told him that this card negates the effect altogether. So I win the duel there. And we were going to go into a second game, but he just drew into absolutely nothing. Literally couldn't do a soul. So that's that. So there's your play-by-play for the night. If you guys enjoy videos like this, if you wish to see more play-by-plays, and if you guys want to see play-by-plays of other decks, feel free to comment in the comment section below, as well as hitting the like or subscribe or both, whichever one suits your fancy. If you want to continue supporting the channel, you can also support the channel by checking out the Twitch link in the description below. We do all kinds of things live and online, whether it's playing Yu-Gi-Oh or playing other games itself. And if you have any recommendations about what you want to see, feel free to comment that as well. I am kind of open-minded to a lot in terms of the channel, the direction the channel is going to go. I personally like to do these play-by-plays. I do the Cyber Dragon versus any deck just because it's a little bit easier. I have a little bit more control over it rather than doing like play-by-plays for other people. That could kind of come across as a little bit iffy just because I don't have like the world's most superior knowledge, as you guys have probably put 2 and 2 together about. But like I said, I'm definitely more than open to finding play-by-plays of other decks outside of Cyber Dragon ABC or Cyber Dragon ABC Symphonic or any variant of Cyber Dragon ABC. So please let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful one, and I hope to see you all in the next one.